and it was hot. It was so hot. It was like 95, 100 degrees in the shade. The wind never blew.
And they say that New Orleans has humidity down there, which kind of cools us off. That's bullshit. It was death heat.
Inside the convention center was so stifling hot, people tried to stay outside.
Hot as hell, 100-something degrees.
It's hot.
It was very, very hot at that time. It was 97, 98 degrees.
It was hot.
The heat radiating off of the highway at night was intensely hot.
It's hot as hell.
That was the worst summer. I mean, there was some, I mean, that heat was ridiculous.
Man, it was hot as heck in here.
It was beyond Africa heat. If Africa heat was anything like that, like I said before, and I'll say it again, they keep saying go back to Africa. Hell no.
Well, as extreme heat continues to grip parts of the United States, New York City is now rolling out new protections for outdoor workers. Mayor Zoran Mamdani has signed an executive order which is aimed at safeguarding more than 1.4 million workers who face prolonged exposure to dangerous temperatures, warning that heat-related deaths are rising as climate change accelerates. The measures covers construction workers, delivery personnel, street vendors, truck drivers, and warehouse employees.
Extreme heat is more than just being uncomfortable. Extreme heat is dangerous. Extreme heat kills. And in New York City, extreme heat contributes to hundreds of thousands of individuals who are hospitalized. And while every New Yorker feels hotter summers, workers often carry the greatest risk. Construction workers, airport workers, delivery workers, building service workers, and so many others who are in the sun, in high humidity, near heavy machinery, or in workplaces where heat becomes unbearable.
The order directs city agencies to develop multilingual heat safety guidance, create heat illness prevention plans for workers, review construction site safety requirements, and study links between extreme heat and workplace injuries. Mamdani said more than 500 people die from heat-related causes in New York City every year, and that climate change is making summers increasingly dangerous. State Attorney General Letitia James also backed the move, warning that extreme heat is a serious public health threat that puts outdoor workers at particular risk.
It's a robot. Ash is a goddamn robot.
Two former governors are thinking of jobs that go out of style. Eric Holcomb was governor of Indiana.
My great-grandfather was a blacksmith in the 1940s.
And Gina Raimondo was governor of Rhode Island.
Rhode Island was once the jewelry manufacturing capital of the country,
where it seemed that everyone was connected to the industry.
My own dad worked at Bulova Watch, and it was a thriving economy until it wasn't. People like my dad blamed Rhode Island's leaders because you can't just see what's coming and not plan for it.
Raimondo was also President Biden's Commerce Secretary. She's now teaming up with Holcomb to address the possible loss of jobs from artificial intelligence. Their new nonprofit, called Raise Us, has raised money from corporations and philanthropies, and as you'll hear, they're just figuring out how to spend it. They are announcing their effort today. A Pew survey published this spring finds that half of all Americans are concerned about AI, including the effect on their jobs.
I think they're right to worry, because right now, all they hear about on television or in the media, including from the guys creating AI, is that jobs are going away. No one has come forth with a plan to say to Americans, AI can do all kinds of good things like cure cancer and create medicine, but we also have a plan to make sure that there's a place for you and your kids with a good job in an AI economy.
There's a lot of change a-coming, and there's a lot at stake. We just have to make sure people understand that there are pathways, they are affordable, they are accessible, and hopefully we can turn AI into a benefit to people, not just to protect our national security. Failure's not an option. We have to succeed, and that's what Raise Us is all about, the how.
So what are you doing?
Innovating, right? Working with governors to try new things. Like in Maryland, we're going to pilot a year of service We know entry-level workers are being squeezed in an AI economy. We know employers increasingly don't want to hire folks unless they already have work experience. So we're going to work with Governor Moore. We're going to fund his effort, help him execute it, to help young people get a job. And it will be aimed at job shortages in that state. Healthcare, clinical healthcare workers, education, nurses, teachers' assistants.
Oh, so you would take someone who is just getting out of college, they're looking for a job in whatever field, and you direct them for a little while into a place where there is a shortage of labor.
Right, or even maybe high school, or maybe someone who's in their early 20s. We have a coalition of more than a couple dozen companies and philanthropists who have said, we're committed. We have governors of both parties committed, saying the same thing. We want to try new policies around training, around apprenticeships, around incentives for employers to redeploy people instead of just lay them off.
What are some companies that are involved?
Oh, it's a very long list. Amazon, Anthropic, the OpenAI Foundation, UPS, General Motors, IBM, AMD, Workday. It's a long list across sectors, and we have met with every one of these CEOs to say, we're pro-AI. We want America to lead in the global AI competition, but it's got to be done in the right way.
I want you both to address the skepticism that some people may feel when hearing about this. It is common. I mean, companies are there to make money. They're there to make a profit. And there have been cases in the past where a company makes $1,000 in some way that's harmful to other people, and so they toss $50 to philanthropy to say they're addressing the problem. Do you worry about that happening at all with these trillion-dollar companies in some cases?
I'm heartened by the fact that so many have stepped up outside of their own self-interest, outside of their own business model, and, by the way, patriotically don't want to lose the AI race to a potential adversary who is right now heads down working on this technology for ill purposes.
Listen, I hear the skepticism, and I understand where it's coming from. I think it's in many ways valid, but I also know we can't solve this problem without employers. They're the ones who hire people. We need employers to give us a real-time view of shifting supply and demand in their industry. So we've raised real money. They are at the table. They are committed. And now it's on us to produce.
As you are working through this project, assembling materials for it, gathering ideas, doing everything else, are either of you using AI?
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, our whole operation does.
Go on. In what way?
Not just as a search engine to help me become more efficient, and not just in research, but I don't exactly have 100 assistants that are not human, but I am being assisted in my daily life.
Yeah, same here. My kids think I should build an AI agent for our family online shopping. I haven't done that yet. But I'm in charge of the supply chain in our house. So when things get low, they're like, Mom, get the agent. But also, we think it's exciting. Like, one of the things we're going to fund is new kinds of training, right? Like, in general, we think America needs to move to shorter, affordable credentials built upon real skills that people need for a job. Let's use AI to do that. Like, wouldn't it be awesome if everyone had an AI tutor or an AI learning coach?
In the end, I suppose whatever you do is a risk, right? We're taking a giant risk, the entire world, with AI, and you're taking a risk and trying to spend some money to mitigate it.
Someone once told me, if you don't like evolution, you'll like being obsolete even less. And to me, that told me I need to be prepared for this moment.
Secretary Raimondo, Governor Holcomb, thanks to you both.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo is proposing a mental health leave policy for all full-time employees of county government. It's on the docket for Thursday's Commissioners Court meeting, and according to the agenda, Hidalgo's proposal would direct several county offices to draft a mental health policy that would apply to employees that aren't already covered by the existing mental health policies. Now, the county, which includes Houston, the city of Houston, has more than 20,000 full-time employees. In a statement to Houston Public Media Tuesday, Hidalgo said employees suppressing mental health challenges can affect their performance, and that productive workplaces allow employees to take a day or two for mental health before it becomes an issue. In 2023, Hidalgo took a 2-month leave of absence from her role as the county's top elected official to receive treatment for clinical depression at an inpatient facility outside of Texas. I'm curious to hear what our listeners have to say, what they think about this leave of absence proposal, and, does your company have anything like this? Call or text us at 713-440-8870. I gotta say, I think mental health there's a need and a demand, especially in workplaces. Mm-hmm. And so I think this is something that could add some real value for county employees.
I think the important word in it is when you say mental health that we focus on, it is health. I think all too often we get caught up in the word mental at the beginning of it and think, well, you imagine it, or it's something you have to deal with or take care of it on your own, or it's not really a problem. It's the health part that's important. We talked about this the other day on the show when we had someone in talking about mental health. If you break an arm, nobody says you're weak for going to get your arm set. But for some reason, when people have mental challenges, the old paradigm was, just take care of that yourself. If you get the help you need, or the help that helps you be a stronger individual, it benefits all aspects of your life, which includes your work life. And therefore, I'm in favor of this. If somebody has a challenge and it's stopping them from bringing their full self to work, and just like a cold, a flu, a broken bone, God forbid, cancer, any of those things that get in the way of you doing your job. That's why we have health care through work, because the idea is we got to keep you strong and healthy to do your job. It's kind of a harsh way of looking at it. Mm-hmm. Same thing stands for mental health, I think.
Yeah, I think it could potentially have benefits in terms of retention. So I pulled a few stats. So according to the 2022 U.S. Surgeon General's Workplace Mental Health and Well-Being Report, 57% of workers are dissatisfied with their employees' mental health or well-being support, and 33% intended to look for a new job elsewhere because of that. And so I think that really does speak to people valuing that, thinking it's important. And then, on the inverse is also relevant. It's a major value in terms of attracting talent, especially like if you are in a high stress job anywhere, especially for the county, especially for something, we as citizens are investing in. I want the people that are sort of tasked with making our lives as livable and enjoyable as possible to be able to have the care so that they can function at their best. Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Let us know. What are your thoughts on this? Should it be a leave of absence? Should that be allowed if you're finding a challenging period in your personal life or professional life, and that there can be some help to help you with it? Give us a call, 713-440-8870. Does your company have one of these policies, as Nicole already asked, or have you taken advantage of that and the benefit it brought to you? What I look back at, too, in this whole story is how the judge, she was very public with taking the time she needed to help herself through a period where she was facing depression, if I remember correctly. And do you think that was a good thing? Do you want somebody in public life, in government policy life, to be struggling with things that there are aids out there that can help you with it to give you 100% of yourself or more of yourself? We had a comment come in on our YouTube from our YouTubers. Wine Goddess says, more access to mental health care would be great. Even with decent insurance, it could still be difficult to find a provider. Absolutely true. We need to, I think, look at our whole health care policy. Well, we all know that, But mental health, I wish people would continue to keep that in mind as part of the story, is that mental health is also health care. And I guess another question, too, to ask you, do you still think there's stigma around people who say that they are dealing with a mental health issue? Or have we grown up enough as a community, a society, to say we value that and understand that as an issue?
I pulled some other stats, Ernie.
You got your numbers. She came with her work.
I can't help it. I love reporting. So according to the employee behavioral health and absence management provider, ComPsych, the share of workers taking leaves of absence overall increased by 30% between 2019 and 2024. And there was a 300% jump within that for mental health specifically. So there's clearly demand, and we're also seeing a lot of sort of revelations about mental health, specifically after the pandemic. And I don't think that momentum is slowing down or dissipating in the ways that we may have seen other changes in work culture change. I think people are more, it's like you can't unsee it, right? Yeah. You can't see the mental health toll going into your office every day may have been taking when you couldn't go in anymore and had to process things.
Let's hear from Andrea, who is calling us from the Inner Loop. Andrea, what's on your mind?
Hey, so it's interesting y'all are talking about this right now. I'm a physician, actually, who's currently on paid medical leave for kind of mental health, which I think part of what you mentioned is, if you have surgery on your knee, you're wearing a brace and you have surgery on your knee, mental health can be like very vague, right? Like there's a lot of, I'm going to yoga and working out every day, and that's exactly what I need after I went through kind of a significant trauma. And I will say that, I'm supposed to go to a work event this weekend, and I'm almost like, if I showed up on crutches, I wouldn't feel weird that I was on medical leave, right? But I feel very weird showing up and seeming like I'm functioning and being at this work event and saying, sorry, guys, I'm not coming into work for another month or so because I'm still figuring some stuff out. So I think there's a lot of stigma, a lot of bias, even in a situation where my work has been very supportive of me.
Mm-hmm. Andrea, first of all, I'm sorry for what you are dealing with and having to go through it. But I think you make a really good point there. We were talking the other day about parking placards on cars to park in handicapped spots. And we got a lot of response. We read some of them on the air from folks that are saying, the issues people deal with, the health concerns they have aren't always visible on the outside, and that so many people see somebody pull into one of those spots and get out of the car, and so they judge without knowing the full story. And I think you're tapping into the exact same thing there with your comment.
I was really nervous to ask her to sign off on this leave. I was like, I don't know what to tell her that I need, but honestly, every day I think that my doctor, really like saved my life and saved my family for just saying, yes, you need to take this time to take care of yourself. So I really hope people take it if they have access to it.
Andrea, thank you, and I hope folks heed your words. Thank you very much for calling in and sharing with us.
Yeah, and Jacqueline, what we just learned from state and local officials here is that they say 23-year-old John Wallace Bay went to work for his internship program at Wilmington Hospital last Tuesday morning, got into an argument with both victims, and then voluntarily left for the day after he got permission from his supervisor. Now, prosecutors say he returned hours later and shot both individuals in the IT department, which is in the hospital's basement. 19-year-old Ethan Hillman of Smyrna died. Another 19-year-old who prosecutors have identified as Jaden Ellis survived and is still recovering at a hospital today. Authorities say after the shooting, Wallace Bay traveled from Wilmington to Philadelphia, and that law enforcement sources told me last week that investigators used various forms of digital technology to locate him in the Alney section of Philadelphia. Now, hours later, police watched Wallace Bay get into an Uber, and they pulled the vehicle over and then took him into custody. Now, what we have learned in the days since is that Hillman and Wallace Bay were technology development interns hired by Christianacare earlier this year. The hospital's incoming CEO says Wallace Bay was hired in February and was taking part in a 6-month non-clinical IT intern program with both Hillman and Ellis, primarily working in Newark, but they were completing a project at Wilmington Hospital last week. They previously worked with a company that is based in Christian Christiana. It offers workforce training programs, including coding. Now, Christiana Care's incoming CEO says that the hospital has expanded weapons screening to include employee entrances at Wilmington Hospital in the wake of last week's shooting. She also shared some details of the internal investigation, saying that no Christiana Care employee had ever expressed concerns that Wallace Bay was a safety threat to himself or those around him.
Since Mr. Wallace Bay was an active participant in the internship program and had valid Christiana Care employee badge access, he was able to use that badge access to enter Wilmington campus through an employee entrance on the afternoon of June 16th, where the tragic act of violence occurred.
Now, a lot of this is still under investigation. They were unable to answer many of our questions today. We are told Wallace Bay is still in Philadelphia, and he is expected to be extradited back to Delaware after an extradition hearing that's happening on June 29th. Now, officials say they still have not located the gun that was used in this incident, and they cannot tell me how they believe Wallace Bay obtained the weapon. Now, once he gets back to Delaware, he's expected to be formally arraigned and charged with several crimes, including murder and attempted murder. We will have much more when I see you again at 6 o'clock, but for now, live in Wilmington, I'm Brian Sheehan, NBC 10 News.
Tonight, the search continues for the man police say walked into a Valley store and killed an employee. It happened Wednesday evening at the Five Below near Lake Mead and Rainbow. The victim's family identifies him as 31-year-old Brandon Lucas. As police hunt for the killer, Lucas's family tells us they are searching for their own answers why he was killed.
Our family member was taken while at work. It shouldn't be that easy for someone to come in and locate someone and take their life.
Grief, confusion, and anger. Those are the emotions Shakira Wright says she's felt since her cousin Brandon Lucas was killed Wednesday at work.
I locate a few cops and ask them, you know, where is he? And they're like, oh, we're working on him. I'm like, okay, what does that mean? Like, he's alive. They're like, we're working on him. That's all we can tell you right now. And that went on for hours. It was horrific.
Police say a man walked into the store Wednesday evening asking for Lucas. The two got into a fight, and that's when police say Lucas was shot and killed. Though police have not said how the two knew each other, Wright says she believes she knows the motive.
I don't think he actually knew the suspect at all. I think the suspect is of a coworker. And I think that there was some confusion along the lines of maybe what the relationship was between my cousin and the coworker.
Police say the suspect ran off. Court records say there's an arrest warrant out for David Nathaniel Vasquez. And until Vasquez is found, Wright says the weight of her cousin's death will only feel heavier.
You're trying to mourn and grieve and figure out funeral plans, but it's one thing when you're doing that when someone has lost their life due to like an illness or an accident or something like that. But when someone's life is taken and you have to deal with the thought and the fact that that person is, you know, still at large, it's insane.
And has this message for the suspect.
You were bold enough to do it, so be bold enough to live with the aftermath of that.
The Five Below store was closed the day after the shooting. The company had told us they will open it when they feel like it's appropriate to do so. Meantime, Lucas will be laid to rest next week.
All it's going to do is dissuade people potentially from protecting their own lives when they may need it the most, and that is not a world that we can live in.
A Starbucks robbery stopped by employees who were fired because of it. We now have exclusive access to video never before seen publicly, which Fox Files investigator Chris Hayes just obtained tonight.
If you've been in St. Louis a while, you are likely familiar with this unique building near the SLU campus, but you have not seen the video we're about to show you. Robbers being stopped by two Starbucks employees who were fired because of it.
It was a Sunday in December 2023, the middle of the afternoon. Michael Harris was working drive-thru.
We were just going about our normal day. Two robbers walked in.
One suspect walks behind the counter and shoves a female worker to the ground.
I was scared, but also just calm at the moment because I was just like, whatever we could do to just get them out of here would be perfect.
The robbers demand money and strike Harris with a gun.
After that point, like when my vision went black, I was like, I'm about to get shot.
A customer in the drive-thru sees what's happening and reverses her car.
It was definitely a life or death situation in my eyes.
Another worker, also fired after this, saw a suspect lower his gun, so he shoved him and noticed the gun was fake.
The trigger broke off when they hit him with it. My coworker announced that it was a fake gun, like right as he got it off of them. And that's when we jumped and like started to fight them a little bit more.
But now in prison after robbery convictions. Harris says he got a call from corporate.
They said, this is Starbucks. We are terminating you effective immediately.
He hired attorney Ryan Krupp.
You have the right to self-preservation. You have the right to make sure that you and your family are not going to be physically harmed. Full stop.
Krupp says Starbucks' response could lead to a future deadly outcome.
All it's going to do is dissuade people potentially from protecting their own lives when they may need it the most. And that is not a world that we can live in.
Starbucks did not respond to our request for comment. For the Fox Files, I'm Chris Hayes.
Tonight on News West 9 at 6, 3 people are dead following a shooting at a Midland County business this morning. News West 9's Stephen Pepper was reporting live at the scene for us today. He now joins us in the studio with the latest. Stephen.
That's right, Crystal. We're told by the Midland County Sheriff's Office that deputies responded to a shots fires call just before 7 this morning in the 5400 block of East Highway 80. That would be at the home of JAT Partner Logistics, a trucking company. What you're looking at is the scene when I arrived around 11. As you can see, investigators centered around their attention inside and around that mobile unit near the front of the property where it's believed all 3 employees lost their lives. Although law enforcement cleared the area close to noon, employees have taped that unit off to keep it secure. Now, witnesses claim an employee shot 2 coworkers before turning the gun on himself. However, neither the company nor law enforcement has been able to confirm those details or release the identity of the shooter. But this is Jeff Waugh, one of the employees who died. His family tells me that the 45-year-old was a very hard-working father who survived by 2 teenagers. Rocked by the tragedy, the city of Midland and Midland Police said in a joint statement that they're praying for the families, first responders, and everyone impacted. As of tonight, those are all the details we know so far. The motive of the shooter is still unclear. Of course, we'll keep you updated as this investigation continues in the hands of the Sheriff's Office and Texas DPS. However, law enforcement wants the public to know that there is no longer a threat. Crystal?
Topping our news, the manager of a Columbus Dollar General store is dead tonight after police say a customer shot her after a small purchase, then later opened fire on police at a separate scene.
That would lead to an officer-involved shooting that left the suspect dead and a police officer and K-9 officer injured. Police reporting tonight that the officer has been treated and is expected to make a full recovery, while the K-9 is still being treated. Tonight, we're learning the identity of the suspect as well. News 9's Gabriella Johnson following this story and joins us now live from our newsroom.
And Gabriella, a lot of folks expressing condolences to the family of this Dollar General employee who was shot and killed. What reaction are you hearing tonight?
Well, Jason and Barbara, investigators say that 44-year-old store manager Alexis Hill was shot and killed late this morning. Now, new tonight, the coroner has identified the gunman as 33-year-old Jerome Willis, who was later shot and killed by police after officers say he opened fire on them and a K-9 named Havoc. Hill's family is asking for respect and privacy at this time for the mother of 3 boys.
Columbus police say it started inside this Dollar General on Victory Drive just after 10 o'clock this morning. According to Muskogee County Coroner Buddy Bryan, a man came in to buy hamburger buns, $1.58, and handed manager Alexis Hill 2 crumpled $1 bills. He straightened the cash. Bryan says the customer stepped to the side, pulled a gun, and shot her. Bryan pronouncing 44-year-old Alexis Hill dead around 10:45.
She's a sweet person, so I don't know who would do something like that. It's just crazy. Their job, she would work her entire butt out for their job, though.
Police say the gunman ran, and a short time later they tracked him to a second scene near Baker Plaza Drive. At the second scene, Columbus police say the suspect shot an officer and a K-9, and officers returned fire, killing him. He's been identified as 33-year-old Jerome Willis. The GBI is now investigating the officer-involved shooting, but officials say there is no ongoing threat to the public. In a written statement, Alexis's brother is asking people not to use her photos or videos without the family's permission and to report any fake fundraisers or posts trying to profit from her death. He says the family is grateful for the prayers but wants privacy and for her memory to be honored with dignity as friends and coworkers mourn a woman they say lit up the store every day.
And as we mentioned, the GBI is the lead on this case now, and police haven't released any more history or possible motive for the 33-year-old Jerome Willis. Live in the newsroom, Gabriella Johnson for WTVM News Leader 9.
Such a tragic story, and certainly we'll continue to follow this and get updates for people tomorrow and throughout the week. All right, Gabriella, thank you. We're also...
An employee shoots and kills a customer. Police not saying anything about what happened or what exactly happened. Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Duffy. Nicole is off today. Thanks for watching now at 3, streaming on 19 News Plus. Keith Grant live for us now in Euclid. Keith, we know police did. They did tell us they arrested a suspect. What else did you find out?
Well, that's just one of the few details, Brian. They say the shooting happened just before 11 last night here at Shore Center Market in downtown Euclid. A woman walking into a store shot dead, and that employee charged with murder. Euclid police say a 29-year-old woman walked into a business at this strip mall Monday night and got into an altercation with a 24-year-old employee. Police say he grabbed a gun and shot her. She died inside the store. Euclid police are pretty tight-lipped about what happened, not telling us what led up to the shooting or even what store it happened inside. At the other end of this parking lot, an RTA bus stop, multiple buses run through here. That's where we found Aliyah Wright, who lives nearby.
I live right down the street.
She heard about the shooting steps from this bus stop.
I was just pretty shocked because, it's not really shootings out here.
And now she's thinking twice about coming outside after dark.
Oh, yeah, I'm not coming outside no more at night. You just never know what happens. It's a lot that goes on.
And she questions whether any altercation justified what happened.
It's just an altercation. It wasn't a physical fight, so it was no need to even pull out a weapon.
That employee accused of killing her was arrested Wednesday and charged with murder. All right, the Euclid police have not released the names of either the suspect in this shooting or the victim, but we did visit 3 of the stores in this market here earlier today. A laundromat and a sporting goods store both open. The employees there said they didn't really know much about what had happened here last night, but the Pizza Hut in the middle closed when we stopped by when its advertised hours said it should have been open. Live in Euclid, Keith Grant, 19 News.
Alexis Hill, black female, 44 years old. Ethan Hillman, black male, 19 years old. Brandon Lucas, 31-year-old, black male. Jeff Waugh, 45-year-old, black male. Marshay Wilson, 29-year-old, black female. All killed within the last 10 days in workplace fatal incidents of workplace violence, and in every case, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in every case, this was a black person shooting another black person, sometimes over $1.58 bag of hamburger buns. Sometimes you messed up my Pizza Hut order. I said hand-tossed crust. You made deep dish. I said extra cheese. You put no cheese. Got green peppers on it. I didn't ask for that. Now, the Pizza Hut one, that was the black employee shot a patron who griped about the pizza. We've seen that one both ways. We had it where the patron, black, has shot the black employee. Saint, you didn't get my onion rings right, Chauncey Meekins in Missouri. That was also a black person killing another black person. I'm going to tell you, hey, you give me a nickel for every time over the past year a black person has killed another black person at work. Whew. Boy, I see me, cute young lady. Hey, we can go out and eat good. Eat good. Anything you want on the menu, eat good. Dessert, anything you want on the Gus T. Got it, boy. I didn't see all these nickels. I didn't study. That's black culture. That is black. They said, I can't believe this happened. Marshay Wilson, it was so many, beg pardon, I got confused. Alexis Hill, 44 years old, mother of 3, working at the Dollar General, said she lit up the place with her smile. Lovely, yeah, right there. Lovely young lady. Said, hey, Miss Hill, you get a sitter, we go out, you get anything you want on the menu. And she gets shot and killed by a monstrosity over $1.58 bag of hamburger buns. Again, I didn't find no reports of black people shooting and killing white people at work because we didn't get a promotion. We didn't get fired, or we got fired. Didn't get a bonus. Security dragged us off the premise. I didn't find none of that. Hey, look here. I didn't find none of them in the past 30 days, I don't think. I think I did get one where a black person was upset about a bonus, but I said, man, I think that was a black person choked another black person. I said, ain't no way in the world, I believe, particularly given what I heard just this week, ain't no way in the universe do I think Jamal went and choked a white woman at work because they didn't get a promotion. Nah, man, based on just what I've seen the last week, like I said, I don't think I can remember one case. Matter of fact, give me the last 2 months. You might even maybe give me the entire year. I think I remember one case of a black person in the workplace, a suspected racist. I'm going to put hands on you because you done lost my temper and one. Black people, and I mean black females, I got to kill a black female. Black males, I got to kill a black dude. Black male, I got to kill a black female. Whatever. All kinds of permeable, but the main thing is black person, black employee, black patron, black employee, mix it up any way you want. Oh yeah, got that, yep, got that, yep. Piles of them. Look at that one from last week at Wilmington, Delaware Hospital. That was a black male, 23, who shot and killed a 19-year-old black dude, Ethan Hillman. They were both in an intern program. Now, neither of them will complete it. What's their legacy going to be? Now we got weapons checks for all the employees at Wilmington Hospital in Delaware. That will be their legacy. They can put a gold bar, one of them little gold tacky plaques, on the metal detector at the entranceway that has Ethan Hillman's name and likeness on it. Put his picture up there. 19. That's black culture. This is the context of white supremacy. The worthless Negro from Virginia, Gus T. Now, I'm going to tell you, Gus T has been emphasizing this for 12 months. I don't know if you've heard, if you all say it's programs like this. So maybe it's lots of other people who are emphasizing this. This should be talked about. I can't really say it's that much of a deviation because this is how we behave. This is what the dozens. We love this. What does Gus T say at the end of the program? I don't say stop name calling Whitey. I don't say stop name calling your white supervisor. I don't say stop name calling all the racist people that you hate at work. Oh, no. I say stop name calling black people like Alexis Hill, Ethan Hillman. I say stop name calling Brandon Lucas. I say stop name calling Jeff Waugh. I say stop name calling Marshay Wilson. That's what I say. Stop name calling black people. Stop, because that's right. I guarantee, you know them nickels that I piled up if I got one for every time. Oh, Marshay Wilson, nickel. Alexis Hill, nickel. Bang. Ethan Hill, nickel. Ethan Hillman, 19 years old. He was at Wilmington Hospital in Denver. And you see, it's all over. You ain't even got to pick one geographic. Ain't no place safe from Negro culture. You see that? Ain't no place safe. It's nowhere to run. What Joe Louis say? It's nowhere to run. It's nowhere to hide. Negro culture. You done messed up my onion rings. I got to kill you, black boy, black girl. Excuse me, that was Chauncey Meekins in Missouri. Got to kill you. Pow. You done messed up my pizza. Pow. Got to blow your brains out. Or you complained about it because sometimes the employees, they got the firearm. Should be talked about. I mean, I'm going to say it again. All of this is June. Matter of fact, this isn't even the full month of June. This isn't even the full month of June. I started talking about this last year. I saw Jennifer Harris. Oh, my God. She got stabbed to death in McDonald's, black culture, by a black female in her 20s. Same thing. Mad, you done sent me home on my shift. I got to kill you. Jennifer Harris, mother of 6. Alexis Hill, Dollar General manager, mother of 3. That's black culture. I said last year, I said, man, we will go to work on some black people in the workplace. Yep. And I said, I can't really think of times where black people, we get mad and hop on a white person at work. I can think of a bunch of them where we do that with black people. In the past 12 months, we have stacked them up. And I'm going to tell you, I don't go out looking. I think the only one where I can say I actually did a search and say, hey, man, has there been Negro on Negro workplace violence? The only one where I can say that for is the Wilmington shooting. And the bot said, oh, yeah, Brother Gus, you missed Ethan Hillman. That one I did look. The rest of let me see. Listeners have been finding these and sending lots of these clips in. Even the one today, Marshay Wilson, just got that one fresh off the press. I don't know. Maybe they are doing a search to find all these, but dang, they shouldn't be popping up. I'm going to tell you this. Gus T said before, hey, all of the suggestions that I give, not talking about things unrelated to the job, I say this would apply if you work with white people or all black people with 8 great-grandparents, all born in Mississippi. Alexis Hill, Ethan Hillman, Brandon Lucas, Jeff Waugh, Marshay Wilson. That's why. Maybe, especially if you work with all black people. Oh, no. Ain't nothing to talk about but the job. And I'm going to tell you, a whole lot of these. Some of these been, oh, yeah, you messed up my onion rings. I got to kill you. That's been, it's been a few of those. Hamburger buns. It's been a few of that. Negro culture. Boy, you looked at me. Boy, you done stepped on my foot. White people done gentrified so-called our entire neighborhood. Suspended your son from school 15 times, but Jamal charged you $1.58 for them hamburger buns. I got to kill you. Excuse me. Alexis Hill charge you $1.58 for the hamburger buns at Dollar General, I got to kill you. Urgh. That's Negro culture. That's a product of white supremacy racism, but hey, don't you come and brag to me about the dozens. Don't you come and tell me, because many of you have, justify why you got a name called black people. Well, this is the result. Might be a result. Hey, racists in stage white supremacy, they may be increasing their abuse and mistreatment against non-white people. That might be true. Gas prices and all the rest of it, so-called inflation and grocery prices, and housing affordability, all true. We don't go and deal with the problem. What you say about my onion ring? Pow! And a whole lot of them, it's been little personal petty feuds and things where we were upset about something we were talking about not related to the job. Maybe we were talking away from work. Man, I would make time, your offspring, if they're younger, because I just would not have thought, like, wow, that is an extraordinary hazard. What's that? Black people. What? Black people. Black people. It's neutralizing workplace racism for sure, but on the job, a major hazard is what? Black people. Negro culture up, and now we done had a shootout in the workplace over what? Do not kick it. You are not there to make friends, be chatting it up, hanging out. None of the above. In fact, I would lean even more so on the, if you do, I've never said be mute in the workplace, but woo, if you work with a whole lot of black people, that might be the way to go. I'm monosyllabic about everything. I might not even give them a word. You don't talk much. Most of the time. Most of the time. They get mad. They don't come to get the quiet person who, you don't never hear him say nothing. Man, he just sit over there and do his work and he courteous, do everything, try to finish on time, good worker, but he's just super quiet. We don't barely make a peep. Especially, you work with a lot of people. Remember, even when we call ourselves being courteous, remember we had a black male wrote in some time ago, and he said that the black people on his job, they took him down to the catacombs. He said, we've been rude and surly to you on the job because that's how they're going to treat you. I guess they meant the other white people. They said, if you say anything about this, we'll kill you. They didn't say that part. They said, if you say anything about this, we'll deny it all. Her. I said, dang, why did they? And they like took him, like I said, they took him down in the catacombs, the dungeons of the building to ask him all these aggressive questions. I said, dang, this is help. Y'all, this is, we're going to be courteous. Look out for our black brother. Like, wow. What do you do to the people you do not like? Do you leave them in the dungeon? You don't even show them how to get back up to the first floor? Man, black people are dangerous in the workplace for a variety of reasons. We do not understand racism, white supremacy. That's at the core. But we are dangerous for a variety. We seek out conflict. I've been saying that, like, man, it's like everyone leaves their residence looking for conflict with black people. Everybody. Racists, non-white people, black people, everybody. We all leave our residence. Even when we don't think that's what we're going to do. I wish Lakeisha would say something to me. I wish Jamal would say, what did you say? What? And that's been a whole lot of, what did you say? What did you say? Negro, if you have a better explanation for it, a more accurate, why, hey, Alexis Hill, 44, why is she not with us? Ethan Hillman, 19. Brandon Lucas, 31. Jeff Wow, 45. Marshay Wilson, 29. Alexis Hill, again, she's 44, mother of 3. Why are they not with us again? Anyone, you got a better explanation, they're not here. Every last one of them killed by another black person. That's Negro culture. It's not Negro culture. It's something else. That explains why that is. I say all day, every day, Negro culture in the system of white supremacy racism. We have been conditioned. We do not, we despise people classified as black, especially when we get that mirror out, but we despise them. And we do this all day long in our spare time. That's the television and content, the music we listen to, bees and hoes and name calling black people and name calling men. Even when we say we're doing counter racism, name calling black people and cursing black people, you get to the job. Of course I don't like, I got to kill you at work. And again, now, if I was seeing where, just black people getting upset because they got fired and white people messed them over for this or that and the other, okay, that's it. Not that would be constructive, but that would be a different observation. That ain't there at all. We get postal and mad at work. Alexis Hill better watch out. Yo 3 black boys better be nervous. Marshay Wilson, why is she again? Customer. I don't even work at the Pizza Hut. I just came in. I'm angry about my order. I guess that's another one. If you're a patron, some of these employees are armed, which I've been saying for weeks now. Like, man, we should all ask, do you allow firearms on the premises? Everybody, apparently, the hospital, school, McDonald's, Taco Bell, do you allow your employees to have their firearms on their person on the clock? Need to find that out. Like, oh man, then that's another one now. If you get an affirmative on that one, there's going to be a whole lot of that in the workplace. Once again, it's a little bit more difficult to say we got some conflict started. When you going to talk today? Big time on question mode in those types of environments. I just ask questions to minimize confusion. And I certainly ain't participating. See, that's another one. That hanging out and such away from the job. Man, oh my God. Nope. Firm boundaries. Because too much of this, especially with us, black culture, too much of this has been something started. We were talking away from the job, or we got real casual. We black brother and I've said for years, just because this person has a high concentration of melanin, even if we're related, we ain't kicking it on the job. I'm not even taking no assumption that you are my comrade and counter racism and we got to talk. Come on. We've had listeners who talk. They knew black employee on the job and they made that error and start chatting it up, and then somehow, Obeezy comes up and they make the assumption, oh man, that old Obeezy, I wish he was back in the office. What did you say, Negro? Uh-oh. That's all it takes. It will shoot you over onion rings. You know, you mess around and let politics come up. Mess around and let racism come up. Mess around and let anything come up. What did you say? What did you look? What? Black culture. Black culture. Alexis Hill, 44, mother of 3. Ethan Hillman, 19. Brandon Lucas, 31. Jeff Waugh, that's Jeffwaughh, 45. And Marshay Wilson. I guess the only one I have to retract, Jeff Waugh, I don't know at this point because they have not arrested the shooter. He might not have been killed by a black person. I will have to retract on that. But all the rest of these, Alexis Hill, they shot and killed the alleged shooter there, black dude. Ethan Hillman, they got the shooter in Wilmington, Delaware in custody, black dude. Brandon Lucas, 31. That's another one. I don't think that's a black dude. I think that actually is a non-white, non-black person. So that's one, not by a black dude, Brandon Lucas, non-white, non-black suspected shooter there. Jeff Waugh, question mark, we'll have to see. Marshay Wilson, black male, they shot and, Marshay Wilson, they have the suspect in custody, black male. So, cannot say absolutely that all of these folks killed by someone black, and one of them not killed by a black person. So one error to correct. Mr. Lucas not killed by a black person, if that makes it any better. Everyone leaves the house looking for conflict with a black person. Really? Why do I have my pistol? It's to shoot a black person. Duh. And that's everybody. Black people, non-white, non-black people, white people. Why do I get a Glock? Oh, yes, Jamal. Maybe Lakeisha. Not for spectator, and especially if you have figured out, hey, do they allow firearms in the place that I work? You should let us know if you asked and got that question answered. Especially in the affirmative. Did you adjust your workplace code once you found out, oh my God, they allow? How many employees have firearms? Ooh. Let us know how that impacted your codification and conduct in the workplace. If you ask that question, vital information. If you have strategies, tips, non-white people, especially if they're classified as black, how to keep yourself safe in the workplace. I guess that should include temperature. But if you have tips, how to make sure you get home safely, how to avoid conflict with black people. Now, I would generally say that, just for everybody, but man, given the report, even though, again, Brandon Lucas, my error, 31, shot in Las Vegas at the Five Below. We talked about this last week, but the suspected gunman is a non-white, non-black male, not a black person. That said, if folks have suggestions on minimizing conflict, especially with black people in the workplace, and making sure that you can do everything in your power to create a safe work environment, please share the number 720-716-7300, the code 564-943 pound. Press star 61 if you would like to participate Number again, 720-716-7300. The code 564-943#. Press star 61 if you would like to participate. The email untiljustice@gmail.com. untiljustice@gmail.com. Now, folks, so much we did have the reports about the heat protections for workers who are outside, given the heat wave that's impacting, I guess, a lot of the northern hemisphere currently. That is certainly important, and the mental health protections for workers as well. But so all of those black deaths in the workplace, I thought, took precedence. So we'll get to some of the folks who dialed in, get their commentary, and check for our emails as well. But I do want to say before we nab some of the callers, get to folks have suggestions for workplace safety. Today was a massively significant day for Gus T's multi-front counter-racist master audit title for my project that began a couple weeks ago that has thus far yielded the FBI file on Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, not complete, but a solid near 70 pages. The about 100 pages of Johnny L. Cochran Jr.'s FBI file, more to come, and 100 plus pages of Mr. Neely Fuller Jr.'s Bureau of Engraving and Printing personnel record, which I've been reading. I'll read a little bit more today. But that's what it has netted thus far, with lots more to come. Even lots, all caps, boldface print, underline, even a part of my monumental significance of today, just one of the responses for my queries. Man, I had to do the Kobe Bryant big ball dance. Man, once I get those pages, I am going to show my entire hind parts for the rest of the year. Man, I'm going to be insufferable, more so than I already am. But, whew, you all are fixing to hear I told you so for about a decade. Like, oh man, I am fixing to show my entire hind parts for the remainder of 2026, probably well into 2027, just on the basis of one of the results that I got today. And equally, for there were 2 Kobe Bryant big balls dances today, which is wow. Like, woo, I only do that for like, ooh, got the Dr. Welsing files. That would be worthy of Kobe Bryant big balls dance. We got 2 today. Oh my goodness. And like I said, for both of them, I am fixing to show my entire hind parts for both equally, and I will be talking about this for the remainder of 2026. Maybe even have some goodies to read, and the insufferable Gus T. Renegade. Stay tuned. Folks who dialed in, workplace safety, or the lack thereof, if you have commentary to share, victim should be with us. I don't know. Have you inquired? Are they allowed to have firearms in your workplace?
Greetings, Gus. Greetings to all the cows listeners and callers. To answer your question, Gus, I have not inquired about that, but from my first time reading the policy and procedure, I will just assume that it's not allowed, considering that I have read in our policy procedure that alcohol and narcotics of any kind is not allowed in the premises. We also do, in our policy, we have a policy, county policy of etiquette, and that is supposed to be observed amongst all employees, regardless of their title or level. Going to your earlier statement about the workplace and safety, I guess there's some gossip going around my office right now. A couple of our, I guess, managers or directors have been caught in, well, not caught, but it's assumed, or they're going through the process of, I guess, there was an accusation of sexual misconduct with an employee. So said employee has been, I guess, removed from the work site and placed in a different work site while investigation ensues. And the deputy is in question, I guess, is at the moment working remotely while the investigation happens. But from my time coming there, other employees have brought it to my attention. They suspect that these two are, I guess, close. And from what I heard, that one is being accused of inappropriate behavior on the premises. So I guess that's also, oh yeah, and also what happened, I guess the employee's, I guess, husband came up to the work site. I didn't see this, but it was reported to me by some of our security that this spouse came into the work site and wanted to come in the building. This building is not for public use. So they're asking him why, and he wouldn't leave for a while until they convinced him to go. What I did see, and from the security guard, what they showed me is that the individual that's been, the spouse of the individual that works at the office, she wrote a note to the security stating that this person should be allowed in. He has a aluminum bat in the car. He's a permanent employee. So that's what I've been hearing on the job site, going to your point about the safety and interacting with your employees in an inappropriate way. But yeah, also, I listened to a broadcast from not too long ago, and you were asking about coding, racial coding on the job. I found a code index that my location uses for employees that are transferring or promoting or quitting of some sort. And I saw the racial numbering that they have. Of course, number 1 being white, but then I noticed that there's no number 2. Then it goes to 3, and that is African American, and then it goes to 5, and that is Hispanic, and then 7 is Pacific Islander, and 8 is Native American, and 9 is Filipino. So that's how we have racial coding at my work site as well. My work site has been experiencing some funding shortages, considering that they're still, I guess, trying to figure out what to do about the federal funding they're not getting from Trump, president. So that still has a freeze on all hiring at the moment. From what I've seen, though, certain individuals who, I guess, already have interviewed for a position, already applied for a position, they're able to move around or transfer or promote to that position. But any new employees coming into the overall county, there's a freeze on that. If there's anything else that I remember, I will let you know. But for now, that's it for me, Gustin. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Man. Old lame Gus T up here talking about asking if they allow firearms in the workplace, which is, important. An aluminum baseball bat? Jesus. What in the... I mean, hey, most places now, I've never seen or heard where they are now. You can't bring no baseball bat to work now. I've never heard no policy of that nature, or you can't have a baseball bat in your car, because sometimes they have the softball teams and all that. So, wow. Not even just a baseball bat. An aluminum baseball bat. Well, was the rumors, was this allegations about a white male employee or a black employee who was accused of doing something inappropriate and maybe got this woman's wife all upset and everything? Was this a white or non-white person who's rumored to be messing around?
Unfortunately, guys, I work with a lot of non-white people, so these individuals would be non-white.
Monsters and monstrosities. Now, again, Gus T has said for years, no hanky-panky, no sexual activity in the workplace. It is not worth it. We talked about this last week. We had a judge who, I was going to say she's accused, but it seems like she might have conceded that this happened, but having sexual intercourse in the courthouse, my word, with an enforcement officer, no less. Like, woo! And that she might have ruined 2 careers. I think at least one of them was married, maybe both of them. So, I mean, it's just not worth it. I don't care how attractive, and I know for many people, you work with these people, you see them a lot. Often you're doing constructive things, working on projects and what have you, and all the rest of it. So, and sometimes you might work together for years. You know, all of that said, it is absolutely not worth it at all. The risk, and even, in fact, let me go back up to some of those names. One of those incidents, Brendan Lucas, 31-year-old black male, shot and killed at the Five Below in Nevada. That's the one where I made the error. He was not shot by a black person. Suspect in that one is a non-white, non-black male. David Nathaniel Vasquez is his name. Warrant has been issued for his arrest. But that shooting, the suspicion is that this was about some text messages and were you talking to my girl type of thing. And it's been a lot of that. A lot of that as well. Somebody's messing around on the job, or rumors that they might be, and husband or spouse, somebody, I got to come up to work and I got to have a few words with you, going to come out here in the parking lot and maybe. That has gone on. But it's so many reasons. It's so many reasons why that is one of the most reckless, irresponsible things that you can do to totally torpedo your own career. Just that, for whatever reason, and even just taking a moment to think about it. Like, so is this like a just for one night hookup type of a thing? Hit it and quit it? Now, it's worth sacrificing your whole career for a one night hookup with a coworker. Are you out of your mind? That's the sort of deal we want to make. Is this, we're supposed to be an item for 6 months. We're supposed to get married. Like, what is this? Like, even to assess the risk of your career. Now, I said, hey, if this person is so cool and amazing and the attraction is so strong, this might be, we might need to be care mates and such. Someone needs to get another job. Everything about this said, and maybe even find out, wait a minute, am I already in an attempted marriage? Are they in an attempted marriage? Like, whoa. I mean, for a billion reasons. Like, that is not, you already have enough problems in the workplace. The rumor factor, we talked about that before. Even if you and the other person get along great, they're interested in counter racism, you are too. You talk about producing justice all day long when you're not at work. Amazing. The rumor factor, and that's if you work with black people, white people, anybody. We've heard people say that the rumors alone almost broke them up because people started lying and, oh, you know, he was cheating on you. I heard him. He was over talking to the secretary and he was there a little too long, girl. Like that sort of nonsense. Like, it is not worth it. Because we've got a few of those in here, in the cows of people talking about either themselves or other people, or with some sort of sexual activity with a coworker that lasted about 5 minutes, which is about what you should expect. And then after that 5 minutes was over and dissolved, now you got all this awkwardness and tackiness, conflict in the workplace, and potentially, were you talking to my woman? We're going to have to meet outside. Come on. Do not sabotage your own career over 5 minutes. Let's see. He said he checked the policy and procedure. Brilliant. We should all do it. And it should be increasingly. Wilmington Hospital, they changed their whole protocol. We're going to screen employees for weapons. Feel a little bit better. That's embarrassing, though, for the hospital, but that's where we're at, 2026. Checking policy and procedure to see, do they have anything in the policy about firearms being in the workplace? And if they don't, ask. Even if they do, I might still ask. Just to aluminum bats, I don't know what to say. That alone would be enough for me to think you get, interested and attracted, certain young lady and culture. Oh, aluminum bat. Yes, another time. Aluminum bat. Let's see. I don't even know what to say about but that's why I say report everything. The spouse coming to work and all of that. Report everything so that they have security, thankfully, so that everyone can be alert and informed about what's going on. It sounds like they didn't mob this person when they came on the premises, that they kind of had a heads up and whoa, we're not open to the public. Come on now, fella. Let's beat it now. Sound like he did loiter for quite some time before he actually left the premises. I would say that is no hanky-panky in the workplace. People just get really emotional and volatile. Anything around Area 8, we already are really retarded, and you mix in a little Area 8, lethal retardation on display. And that's non-white people, white people. It can be really bad. Just keep that in mind. That's should be a massive motivator for keep everything zipped up, keep my dress down, little discipline in Area 8 can go a long way to preserve your career. He said the coding system that he discovered, where, of course, white is number one. Of course. They don't even have a number 2, which I find hilarious. we are so supreme. We done left these niggers. We don't even have no one. That is hilarious, but it is kind of true. And they got the niggers too, and all the other stuff. That's exactly what Fuller said. Now all the others, just get the 9, 12, 5,000. Number 1, the only one that matters, the race. And see, it's not even alphabetical. See, it's not even alphabetical. Like white would be 9 at the bottom of the list, maybe African American, API, Filipino, that would be 1, 2, 3. Hispanic, see, that would be 1, 2. That white would be at the end. White would be 9 on the order. Hey, we could take the vacant number 2 out. They wouldn't even have to be 9, but they wouldn't be number 1. If it even means anything. See, even that for something that shouldn't mean, because I don't think this was about superiority of the races. Or was it? But I don't think so. He didn't say that. He just said that they had some sort of coding. It might have just been allegedly for racial classification. If that's the case, it shouldn't matter who's assigned number 1. Hell, they didn't even have to start with 1. They could have started the count from 7, 8, 9, or 3, 4, 5, 6. It wouldn't have mattered. We could have just picked something random. Just hit, that's the code. Boom, boom, boom. White's number 3. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. No. White. Supreme. We are always number 1. That ain't no accident. That even I say it's equally significant. White 1. Yeah, we've heard that a bunch. They didn't even put nothing in it, too. We don't even want none of them niggers close to us. White people are ignorant about that, just accident, coincidence. That okay. Much obliged. Victim. Stay safe in the workplace. Jesus Christ, got to watch out for the sex partners coming to aluminum bat. Much obliged, good sir. Number again, 720-716-7300. The code 564-943 #. Press star 61 if you would like to participate. If you have you asked, are we allowed to have a firearm in the workplace? Has violence in the workplace been addressed on your job? Safety, has this been addressed on your job? Have you adjusted your code once you found out, like, oh my goodness, we can have a firearm at my work site? Did that cause you to adjust your counter-racist codification, how you function in that environment? Have any of the news reports about the black-on-black violence in the workplace, has that caused people to rethink maybe their behavior in the workplace, especially with your black coworkers? Let us know. You can email as well, untiljustice@gmail.com. untiljustice@gmail.com. I will continue. I said last week, or I even mentioned it today, I said, man, I got Mr. Fuller's Bureau of Engraving and Printing employee personnel file, at least what they shared, well over 100 pages. He worked there for 3 decades, so a long time. But this is from October 25. It's 1966 review for Neely Fuller Private Neely Fuller Jr. Guard GS4, Bureau of Engraving and Printing. He had only been there a short time at this period in the early mid-1960s. So this report, it is pretty lengthy, pretty thorough. I've already read a good chunk of it. We're finishing it up this week. We're at point number 8, where we left off at. Must be willing to accept any shift assignment under emergent conditions. Must be willing to report for duty at any time when called upon. Demonstrates willingness to accept assignments requiring adaptability to change and devote full time and attention to assigned duties, working harmoniously and effectively with supervisors and coworkers. Complete willingness to serve regardless of the time or the assignment, with full comprehension and awareness of his primary responsibilities applied in day-to-day performance, is clearly evident of this employee. His willingness and exceptional ability to train new guards and impart valuable information and procedural standards which he himself so thoroughly and efficiently applies provides a very impressionable and outstanding example to new employees, coworkers, etc. He is extremely congenial and exercises exceptional tact and courtesy in his performance, which results in harmonious and effective relationships, yet commands the respect for security criteria by all contacts. Private Fuller is without doubt an outstanding asset to the Bureau organization, reflecting only favor upon the Treasury Department. He contributes to the efficiency and effectiveness of his supervisors by passing on information which is valuable in promoting job coordination and communications. 9. Exercises sound judgment under normal and emergent conditions, referring unusual conditions and occurrences for evaluation and appropriate corrective action, including indications of possible danger or observations of suspicious activities within the vicinity to which assigned. Private Fuller consistently exercises unusually sound judgment in his everyday performance. His natural traits of cooperation, willingness, thoroughness, and promptness, as well as his exceptional ability to recognize and promptly initiate corrective actions, are conducive to and indicative of this employee's outstanding performance. 10. In addition to a full field investigation, his personal conduct and habits, including honesty and integrity on and off the job, must reflect only credit upon his position in the Bureau and the Treasury Department. Private Fuller's honesty and integrity are considered unquestionable, and what is known of his personal conduct and habits would receive only credible recognition and reflect favorably in such manner upon his position, the Bureau, and the Treasury Department. Now, not that I'm disputing it, but I would love to see if they say the same thing, because this is 1966, so the code book hadn't been published. I would love if they have it in writing where they repeat these same just superb characteristics and evaluation of Mr. Fuller, if this is the same sort of language that he gets once the code book has been published. And I would assume that he said that the Bureau people that he worked with, he was vetted, federal government, that they vetted him. They were aware of the code book. He said some of his coworkers asked him on the job about the code book, and you got some heavy stuff in there, and said that they had looked through it. So I am so eager to see, does this continue even after the book is published? They say the same thing. He's accredited and he's, honest and has integrity on and off the job. And that, wow. At least that would be significant to me for many reasons, but I'm very eager to see if that continues. Continuing. 11. Care in personal appearance, properly uniformed, stand and sit erect, avoid unfavorable impression by coworkers and visiting public. Private Fuller's personal appearance, i.e. stature, neatness, etc., are exceptionally appealing. He has been commended for this purpose on many occasions. Go ahead, Mr. Fuller, slick. Let's see, 13 through 14. Complies with all Bureau rules and regulations in such degree as to set good example for coworkers and other personnel frequenting the Bureau. Must retain the best possible physical fitness and be capable of performing arduous duties when required. Performs duties in the safest possible manner. Observes all safety rules, regulations, and guidelines, and reports immediately all accidents and safety hazards to his supervisor. This employee is exemplary in his attendance, which implies sustained good physical fitness. I think Mr. Fuller said that he did not miss a day of work for 30 years. I guess I'll be able to confirm that as I go through the report, but he said that on the air. Go back in the archives with the cows, but he said he did not miss a day of work for 30 years. His attendance, which implies sustained good physical fitness. He is well versed in security regulations as well as those which concern all employees and complies with them in the same spirit in which his responsibilities demand enforcement thereof. He is known to report safety hazards and infractions of rules more regularly than his coworkers because of his keen sense of awareness and detailed attention to such matters. Conclusion and justification in terms of total benefits to the government. Private Fuller's individual performance is evaluated as outstanding in consideration of consistent dependability, thoroughness, initiative, cooperation, reliability, interest, and attention to duties, etc., in his day-to-day performance of duties as well as all aspects of special and related assignments. The quality and degree of application of maximum security criteria combined with the most desirable traits and qualities which he himself incorporates with his performance is considered in excess of that which can normally be expected of him. He has acquired quite independently a thorough appreciation of the Bureau's maximum security programs and evidences this comprehension in his duties day-to-day performance, which is exemplary. He is totally reliable and can be depended upon to exercise exceptionally sound judgment in whatever assignment he undertakes, either voluntarily or otherwise. Because of his individual capability and conscientiousness, as well as his consideration for others, he has fostered very ideal relationships with supervisors and coworkers and employees of the Bureau. He sets an excellent example for others, which results from his personal command and individual respect for rules, regulation, and authority relative to the Bureau's security programs. He is an outstanding employee and a credit to the organization. Full report from 1966 on the great Neely Fuller Jr. Again, so much of this I can see how he applied the thoroughness and his meticulous attention to detail to his compensatory counter-racist concepts. Wow, but what a record. And even that I thought as well, not just his emphasis on safety regulations and potential hazards, we can borrow that for sure, but also his independent research about his job, maybe I suspect looking at policy and procedure, so he can be extremely aware of what's expected of him and what, hey, these are the security procedures that we're all supposed to be abiding by. That way I know immediately when there's a violation, we can get that stopped, make proper reports. They don't blame me. And then, hey, we keep everything safe here because they do make money here. So we're supposed to take this job seriously. Right on. But that's something that we can borrow as well on your job. And that's why I say take that time, read that policy and procedure if you can before you even get hired. But taking time independently to research and make sure you have the best possible understanding of your job, where you work, to put yourself in the same sort of position so that you get those reviews, they will sound just like this, where your performance is impeccable and to at least a great degree because you are very knowledgeable about policy and procedure, your job duties, and what is expected of you, and really to a degree even you are very informed about the facility in which you work. The great Neely Fuller Jr. But we'll read more because this is from 1966. They have reports that go all the way up to when he retired in the 90s. So eager to see they sound the same way once the book is published. Anyway, producejustice.com. Let's see, the number again, 720-716-7300. The code 564-943 pound. Press star 61 if you would like to participate. The email untiljustice@gmail.com. Let us know if you have thoughts, observations. Have you inquired about your workplace's firearms policy, maybe even their aluminum bat policy? Let's see. I'll make sure I get in some of the reports that we did here that were not related to black people being killed in the workplace. We did hear about the Mayor Mamdani in New York and the heat regulations, which would go, at least for me, right there with safety, and it might be for you black self-respect. Yes, here in Seattle, so we had our mini heat wave. It was close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit for a couple days, maybe 3 days. It was definitely 85 at least, and sometimes, as I said, really, really close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which is kind of wacky and really abnormal for these parts. But oh man, we have slammed right back into typical Seattle weather, and it was so Seattle the way it happened. So we had our extreme heat advisory until 11 p.m. yesterday. Yesterday was another day, mid-80s, close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, way above normal temperature for these parts. That temperature dropped into the 50s yesterday evening. That would be Wednesday evening, so probably between like 5 p.m. yesterday evening and 1 a.m. it probably dropped about close to 30 degrees in temperature. That we're known for having those just massive spikes in temperature, or fluctuations in temperature. The only place I've been where it snows with the sun out from time to time. But so we had all that extreme heat and high 80s and the FIFA people going crazy because I think the Wednesday game was in part of it. Man, I think for like the next 10 days, which I believe does include July 4, it's not supposed to be above 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Super Seattle weather, even lots of days where it's in the low 50s, and that's even into July. Very Seattle weather, which means they will go from having been, we got to get all the sunscreen in the world and be out here to roast to watch the soccer games, to, oh Lord, did we bring blankets, earmuffs? Jesus Christ, it's winter in Seattle, and it'll be July. Anyway, heat wave, schmeat wave. For the rest of the folks who are not in the Pacific Northwest, that might be the speaking up. Get water breaks, shade in your workplace. They even they said they had to shut the Eiffel Tower down in Paris because of the heat. Can't have workers or tourists out at the peak parts of the day because it was so hot over there. They've had sweltering for a long time now, much longer than us. So, man, black self-respect. And I would mention New York. That's the mayor of New York. That's not, some yokel West Virginia with no teeth and uneducated white person. Mayor of New York City. And they're talking about how dangerous this is, particularly for times like this. And you have disproportionate numbers of non-white people who they get put out there in those types of positions. Mail carrier, construction workers, anything where you have to be out there. Amazon delivery workers, Uber drivers, all that. You have to be outside, probably that hot asphalt and 80 degrees, 90 degrees, they with hundreds in some places. Like, oh man, that could be super dangerous, super health hazard, especially if you have any exacerbating conditions. Black people are not healthy. You can say that in many ways. Let's see real quick. The other one, reports that did not deal specifically with black people being killed in the workplace. In Houston, Judge Lena Hidalgo suggesting that all full-time employees in Harris County, Texas, that's where Houston is, that they get mental health leave time from their job. So if they need to go see counseling or a therapist for depression, whatever the case, anxiety, whatever, they can go get that taken care of the same way they would if they had the flu or pregnancy, broken bone. They get that time off and then come back into work. Spectacular. It seemed like the hosts endorsed that. I would as well. Maybe we could even get that for people that are not full-time, because I think they would just scheme and work to make sure that lots of black people, it'll work you like 29 hours or something where you'll be just short of full-time employment, so you cannot get mental health, especially if you get mental health access like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, someone like that, who could really, be beneficial to you in understanding the world you live in and why you do not qualify for mental health as a victim of white supremacy, non-white person. But that would be spectacular, and even normalizing mental health and why that's a problem for many folks, at least can be, and important to seek help and be able to have time and resources to get that help. Grand. Let's see. I will pause, and then we'll nab some of the other folks who dialed in. Number again, 720-716-7300. The code 564-943 pound. Press *61 if you would like to participate. Especially if you have asked about the firearm policy in your workplace and or any violence, safety issues, violence in the workplace, tips on making sure that you have a safe work environment without the violence, black on black violence, or any other folks who've dialed in to share. Let's see. Bay Area Mommy joining us. If you have commentary, proceed.
Can I be heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Greetings to you and everyone participating. I don't remember. I've never asked about a firearm policy because I never had. I just never had to. And then we came up from our era. Everybody had guns on them. So I never asked because we always, black people, black males in particular, black ladies too, had one in their purse or one on us somehow or another for a black male. So you never ask because you usually have one on you. Be honest, or in the trunk or something, even at where I work, so don't ask because you might tell. Let's see. Oh, workplace racism. This is the last week of, so we have one more week of summer school. So on week 3 of summer school, I don't remember what happened. My life's a movie, so I may have forgot to call in or like, oh no, it's Friday. So that's my real life. But I didn't really get a break because summer school started. So the last day of school, say, was Thursday the 4th, and then summer school started I went back to work the 8th, and summer school started the 9th, something like that, so I started back that Monday. So the children that needed the services couldn't get the services. So what they did, there's a nice turnaround on staff, especially salary staff. They go in, do their damage, get their money, get their raises, and then leave. But not before they dismantle this or add this and make it more complicated for the children. We have children coming from different schools in the network that we work in, but they come from different schools to this charter school. A lot of children didn't get service. So, for instance, the most we have maybe six adults. Yes, 6 adults, maybe 2 supervisors that are around, but 6 actual working adults, maybe including the teacher, and 6 children if they all come. And then we're borrowing children, too. It's even one, we're breaking so many laws, it's even one that's in elementary school that's not even on the schedule. They're not even a part of the summer school, but he's coming because his brother's coming, and it looks like his brother babysits his little brother. And this little guy, he can't go into the after-school intercession program because they didn't apply. Even though the other young man, for whatever reason, they applied for him, even though they're both brothers. One at elementary, one at upper. I don't know how it happened, but this white teacher decided she's going to, oh, no, I'm going to throw my weight around. He's going to go in this program. And that didn't happen. It's like, no. So you could throw your weight around, but sometimes we could go by the policy as well and say, oh, no, per policy, he has to apply, and the deadline is over, and there's a wait list, that kind of thing. So he didn't make it, so we inherited this. He'll be in second grade, the second grader. And then we didn't get a lot of the kids that needed the service. For the first half of summer school, there was the summer after-school program has a summer program. That's 2 weeks on, so these 2 weeks they won't be there. So some of the children could come to summer school if they were in the summer session for after school, but now there's no summer session, so a lot of the kids didn't come because some of their offspring, there's nowhere to take them because they were relying on the school to kind of take care of them from 8 to 6 or 8 to 5, however long that goes for the program, versus summer school is only 8 to 12. So a lot of the children aren't even getting the other half of the summer school that they needed because there's no babysitter for their sibling. The white woman that's doing summer school this year, she's just got her master's degree, very proud, very proud. She's a very heavy-set Caucasian lady. I think she used to be a minister, maybe a youth minister somewhere in Alameda. And now she's there, so she's got her master's, so she's probably going to stay at this school for a while. Feeling sorry for the black children and friends because there's no white children at this school. She's what I noticed, she has a student. We had him last year for summer school, but now since she's a teacher, she actually has her student. So she's kind of has a maternal aspect to her when she's dealing with the black kids. So she'll talk to their parents, so she'll remind the kids that she has a relationship with their mothers and she can come to their house. So this year we're not having breakfast. I set it up because I had to do a lot of the underground work to set up summer school for this year because it was ridiculous last year. So I set it up to where we could get breakfast and lunch from the summer program, but for these 2 weeks, we would have to, do our own thing. Oh, the white lady, we're not going to have breakfast or lunch. We're just going to have snacks. So you have the gummy, the Welch's gummy, all that pork stuff. So, and this is a pork-free, peanut butter-free school, but the non-black people don't respect. So the Muslims will respect it, but the white people and other nationalities do not respect the fact that it's a pork-free school or peanut butter-free. So there's all kind of pork snacks, peanut butter snacks in the snack bucket. Now we get $20. So I think maybe there's maybe let's say 11 kids registered to come to summer school. So there's a $20 a day budget. We're using that $20 a day budget if they come or not, no problem. We're not going to the store to make sure there's snacks and things for these children to eat, nor are we saving that for our field trip that we're supposed to have next week. I don't know what's going on with the today we didn't have any milk because there's no after school program to get the milk from. And the white lady, she's not tripping. I think she went for Juneteenth. She took her daughters and some other people, and it was a little black one in there too. She took her daughters and her friends to a volleyball tournament, and I'd like to say she has the money. Money went a lot of places, but it didn't come to the snack bucket because that's the same snack that's been there ever since summer school started 3 weeks ago. So somebody else is going to go get some milk tomorrow so the children can at least eat cereal because I can make sure they have some of the stuff, but if there's no delivery because there's no summer school, I can't make sure everything happens. I can only do so much. So the white lady, so today, she's like, you can look and see if the milk is expired. The milk is expired. I'm about to throw it away. Well, the milk all in the school is expired. There's no decent milk. So then this other black girl's like, I should have bought milk. And because we're thinking back to last year, how it ran, and it's not running like that, especially with the children eating. We had bagels. We had people donate certain for breakfast. It was set up differently. But with this particular white lady, it's not happening like that. And she's so busy trying to be hip and friendly, especially with the kids that are already hers. So one of the little boys, you can tell he has little issues. He has the little big ear, so cute. So she calls him by a nickname that someone else gave him 9 years ago. Well, maybe 6 years ago. Someone else gave him this nickname, but just to be hip, she'll call him by that too, instead of calling him by his biological name. So he came and laid over by her, and the way he laid on her, it was kind of like a puppy or something. It just like, and she's like, oh, are you going to do this? Okay, and I'm a white woman, and you're going to just do this? Hey, this doesn't look right. I'm a white woman, and you're just laying over here in a submissive state. That doesn't look right. Watch how you're laying. So it was ridiculous. So today we're doing little projects, and she doesn't like that the children will listen to other people aside of her. You can tell that. She wants you to listen to her first. We were talking just in general because there's a lot of turnover rates, like even with the principal. So the whole staff at the upper side, where she works, middle school, the whole staff quit. Everybody in administration quit except for maybe one person, one or two people, because they probably just got those jobs. But they dismantled a whole lot of things before they left. A black principal's coming in, even though she just left. She's only been at this one school for a year. I guess she couldn't do what she needed to do at that school, so now she's coming over here. So we'll see what she can do at this school. She promised that the lady would get lunch breaks because she said the bigger white lady said she hasn't been getting lunch breaks for 3 years. She hasn't had a lunch break. And so they said, well, the lady said she'll get her one. And then, so, she's got to be joking, well, no, I could just keep on doing this and this and this and this. And then she's like, no, I'm going to make sure you get a lunch break. So she made a comment and basically said, but this is after the black lady left, maybe an hour after the black lady left, she said, the white principal, she knew I wasn't getting my breaks and things, and she didn't even say anything. And she's white, and I'm white. And she still didn't do anything. She treated me like I wasn't white like her. And she didn't do anything. And then I was thinking, too, with her white, she's a sloppy white, thinning hair, so maybe she didn't respect her white. I don't know. But I thought it was interesting that she made that comment because she's white and she should be treated with dag-nabbit respect. Now, we're both white and you should treat me like we're white. And I guess she didn't get that treatment. Moving forward, as I've been there 3 weeks of summer, the school has not been clean. I mean, somebody's taking out the trash, but the floors have yet to be mopped. They did look like they got maybe a rug doctor or some kind of grocery store shampooer and shampooed the rugs. Like, we have a lot of rugs. They may shampoo the rugs, but they shampooed the rugs. That's what it looks like. They got that rug doctor and shampooed those rugs, whomever, Pablo, Rosita. But the floor has not been mopped. The same dirt is on the floor, the walls. The bathrooms have not one. Even the bathrooms that we're using, they're not clean consistently. They may take, if you take what I've started doing is taking the trash out, so you'll know that at least when you're here at night doing whatever you're doing, because you're not cleaning, you could take the trash out. So what it seems like the custodians are doing is maybe taking the trash that they see out and maybe shampooing the throw rugs, maybe. But they made every class pull all their stuff, box all their stuff, and put it in the center of the room so it could be allegedly clean. And they were telling me, as the school is ending, you know, because when we did it last year, I was like, you didn't clean last year. So the lady, I know. Okay. So, okay. Well, you know, when we come in, we mop, when they mop the floors, they're not mopping the floors. The only time I'm not at the school is the last 2 weeks. So from July maybe 2nd till the 20th, I won't be there. The school is the same as if when we left June 4th. In real life, the school is the same as when we left last June because nothing is clean. I don't understand how the custodians are on vacation in the summer. Wherever the main little custodian guy that I see, I'm like, oh, can you have him put some tissue? Oh, he's not here. I don't even want to know where he's at. But he should be here. There's no excuse for a custodian to be on any kind of vacation in the summer without someone substituting to do the deep clean. Summer is deep clean time. It's not, oh, nobody's here, I don't have a lot of trash to take out time. It's not that time. It's deep clean time. It's strip the floors time. It's wax the floor time. It's clean the walls time. It's get rid of the spider webs time. So, of course, every day is my last day, so I have to say something. So I'm going to say something, but I'm going to say something to the $100,000 man because he just got back today. He's been on vacation since summer school started, I like to say. So I just want to see, because how do you expect different behavior and we walking in on the same dirt? And what's going on at this school to where it doesn't get cleaned adequately? I'm just trying to figure it out. Even in the classroom that I'm in, it's in our building, but they are middle school. That floor looks like it never gets swept. The teacher doesn't sweep it. Nobody sweeps it. I was looking for something on the floor and ended up sweeping a screw. So I ended up sweeping all this old dirt and sand and stuff, looking for this screw that I did find. But it's just nasty. The floors are nasty. Everything is nasty. So is that the respect that you have for those melanated beings in that school, that you won't even clean the school? Or even the Spanish people? I bet if that was a Spanish school, I bet if it was El Patrios or something, some kind of Spanish something, that school would be clean. We even use Fabuloso. because I saw like a whole, I'm like, ooh, that's why I smell like $1 in here. I just don't understand. With all the money that goes around, why the cleaning is at the bottom of the list with all these children. They'll even poop upstairs. They'll even have stool. They're so disrespectful for this black space. They'll poop on the floor and then just leave it on the floor. They're not pooping in the toilet. They're pooping on the floor in the bathroom and just leave it. And then I guess by the end of the day, somebody, maybe the custodian, cleaned it up. But I'm very disappointed in the clean because I'm a custodian, and this is this is awful. So this might be my last year, and it will be because of this. I'm not doing this. I don't have to be in this germ-infested environment. I don't have to. So we're gonna see. Even though I am valued for my little skill, because I did hear from one of the ed specialists, supervisors, that because they brought up the gentleman, the little young man with the 180 pound, they brought up him. So he started getting out of his seatbelt, tapping on the Uber driver, because he gets an Uber from his house to his new school, courtesy of this school. So he got out of the harness, so they needed somebody that's CPI trained, and I'm the only one. It's a handful of people CPI trained in that school, which is interesting. But I'm one of the only ones, especially in the summer, that's CPI trained. So his mom was like, oh, let me figure something else out. So they ended up getting a harness so he could ride to school, and they had to get another latch because he was getting out of the harness. So he came up because of that incident, but they got him off of the iPad at the school. So he's not doing any learning, but he's not on that iPad at their school out there. I think it's in Dublin or Pleasanton. But he's not out there blaring that Mickey Mouse all day in their school. So I don't know any more information about him, but he surfaced in that in my summer school time, and that's when the lady's like, well, you're the only one trained to deal with these behaviors, and we can't have people like you who RBTs in here, because I forgot what it is to where they don't have registered behavior technicians, but they have BCBAs. But so they have to have parents. But even with the parents, they're not qualified to deal with all the things that go on at the school. And then it brings down their morale, and they tend to drag. And you can see the regret every day in their face. It just being in there, the lack of energy, it's like you're forcing them to be there. And that's the majority of the parents. It's as if that's the drag, and then you're with children, vulnerable brains, with that energy, and it doesn't help the children. And then they run a lot of children. They destroy a lot of children with that behavior. And then because they're adults, they work against the children. And then you end up transferring or go to another school, and then the child is still left in pieces because you made their life unbearable because you're all messed up. Because a lot of the adults at the school, especially those parents, they're messed up. They only get like $21, $22, $23, $24 an hour, and you got to work to get to that. And even another gentleman, the music teacher, he ended up going back to being an instructional aide because they probably need him to help the whole class. So he made it to the music teacher when a black male gave him that position, but he didn't do what he had to do to maintain it, so they removed it. And it's just so he's still going to stay there, but it's just you don't see enough adult bodies there for the children. They're there for the money, whatever amount it is. They're there for the repetition, but they're not there to aid the children. So with my last year with this little boy that bit me, this he's in summer school. So with this summer school time, I'm introducing him to the middle school part because this is his last year of elementary school, and he will not have his own room anywhere else. So if he stays at that school, he might get this new room that he's in or going to go into, because they're moving the black mental health clinician into his old room. So he's going into her large room with the bathroom, and they're going to use that as the STP bathroom as well. I don't know how that's going to work. I won't find out that until July. I'll see how that works. Because the little boy that has his own room, he's used to his own space. So you won't be able to have other people in his space and think he's going to stay in there. He's going to leave. So I will see how that works in July as they're fine-tuning everything, and they're making us do all the custodian work in those 3 weeks before school starts. And I think that's about it at that school. Oh, I talked to the school psychologist who used to work there. Another ed specialist, sweet as bear meat, excuse my metaphor, very nice young lady. They ran her up out of there. Then before she left, the principal, the one that got the new principal position, so she didn't quit, she said, "Are you leaving us because you hate us?" And, of course, the lady didn't say, "Yeah, that's why I'm leaving." But just to say that, what are you guys doing in there? How are you kicking people around to where that you have to even inquire that? So just talking with her, she doesn't work there anymore. She's in another different district, and it's night and day because I think is it Liverpool or Dublin? There's a lot of not black people there. So all their services and needs are getting met. Everything she says, they're okay. Well, you got the specialty. I take that. I'll do what you say. Versus at the school that I work at, we can't get anything. You're not going to give us anything. Well, what? They just want you to. They just want to make sure all the children have IEP, so they could give them bare minimum education and just coast them around and give them gummy bears and chips and junk food and kill them, and then you send them to middle school with the reading level of a kindergartner. Because the little boy that was in 3rd grade that couldn't read is now in 5th grade not being able to read. I will mute my line. Thank you.
Reading more important than watching television. I guess one, before we, I will say, it did seem like there was a teaspoon of fat shaming. Shame on you, Bay Area mom, talking about the white woman being hefty or however she phrased it. But when she's talking about said racist suspect, and she said that the white woman, Tubby, racist suspect, was grousing about, they don't give me my lunch break. I'm here and I work like a slave and with these Negro children and I can't get nothing to eat. She's white and I'm white. She doesn't even give me lunch break. I can't believe it. She's messing over another white person. Wow, that is like for reals. She phrased it just that she is white. I am white. We are white sisters in this together. And she's still ignoring my breaks. Dang, that is, I just want to make sure I didn't tune out or have a meltdown and didn't hear that correctly, because that is so, I thought white people are ignorant about racism. And why are you telling me this as what is my response supposed to be as a black person? Yeah, that's messed up. That's what she's supposed to do to me. Yeah, she's like, what? That's one. And then what is sloppy white? See, that's why I said fat shaming. See. What is sloppy white? That's a new one for old Gus T. What does that mean exactly?
You asking me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, she's like big, like real big, like Madagascar, like a hippopotamus. I like them big. I like them chunky. She's big, like Miss Piggy. Boss Hog. What? Miss Hog. Big like that. Oh, this has. Oh, everybody's not there. She's plump. Okay.
The fat shaming. You see what I said? See. Much obliged. But did she said it that way, even so-called sloppy, but that's how she said it to you, that I'm white and she is white and she is messing over me. She knows I'm a hungry white woman and she's messing me over, and that's what you do to Negro. And she phrased it in just that way, that this is a white woman messing over another white person. She might have muted. I was just trying to make sure I heard that one correctly.
I'm sorry, Gus. What did you say?
Just that was the way that she phrased it to you, the ground, that this is a white woman messing over another white woman.
Yep, that's exactly how she said it. And I had to, I had my antennas on, so I was listening. So I was like, oh, thank you. You're making my week. I like that she said that, because that's what they expect.
Wow. That is not ignorant about racism. That is, wow, that's definitely, write that down, not ignorant about racism. And with the expectation that me being classified as white, that's supposed to mean something. You don't treat me like no Negro up here. Like, woo, not ignorant about racism. Incidentally, if I'm a non-white, I would not respond to that. Because again, if I'm a black person, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, yeah, that's messed up. She's treating you like us. What? I'm just gonna write that down. That's what I tweeted. I'll write that down. Woo, man. White people not ignorant. Let's see. She gave the full rundown, albeit lots of fat shaming. Shout to Miss Piggy. She said that they have so much staff turnover, and some of it she told us about. Remember the black fella who left? He was upset because they took down Clarence Thomas's picture, Cowbell. He was upset about that. We tried to see if he could, tough it out to spring break. And I can't do it. But she said they have so much staff turnover. And she said that some of it, not talking about him, she said these people, they come in, educators, they come in, they get their money, and out of here. I had said before, as have many other folks who, people have written books and reports about this, lots of these white women, sloppy or no, they come into these predominantly black educational environments and they are looting, robbing, stealing, doing whatever they want to, and the primary objective is not with these children at all, like not even close. Man, like, and I've said this throughout too, even in the context of Bay Area Mom, because it'll be so many of these children, like the fella she mentioned at the end of 180 pounds and eating all this bad food and was on his different devices and such and can't read and all the rest of it. That, not having a plan for him and all these other students, no plan, don't even have a plan for how we're going to have lunch, for the summertime. All this education and brag about my master's degree and brag, and she's mentioned that tons of times. They got all these folks, white educators, who come in and they want to brag and show off about, got my PhD, got my master's, you dumb niggers. Okay,
Can we get a plan together for children who need the most help? I had something for the Pride. We had lots of detailed notes about what we're going to do for Pride, but helping Leroy Reed. I don't know if I'm going to stay here long enough for that sort of project. That may take some time. Like, man, come on. And I've seen that personally, where that's almost what to expect, especially if they're classified as white. Whatever it is, there might even be a program where if you come to where the black boys and girls are and you teach for X amount of years, might be 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. But I mean, as soon as they get 3 years to the day, deuces, already had my 2 weeks notice or 5 months notice or whatever it is. But today is for sure my last day, and I got my other job opportunity lined up or whatever it is. They paid off my student loans and all the rest of it. Well, they paid for my education. It might have been one where if you go teach, they'll pay for you to finish and get your master's or your PhD or whatever. So they'll go do their time. Didn't do no help. And what did they do for the time that they were there? Well, we took down Clarence Thomas's pictures. That's not helping anybody. And we had about 15 Pride marches. We got pictures of that right there. And that's about it. Oh, and I got my loans paid off. Hey, that's what we did all the time. Like, man, come on. Standard operating procedure. Let's see. And she said that we took Clarence Thomas's pictures down and we made things more complicated for the children, more confusing for people who already need the most help. Now we made it even more cumbersome.
She said they're breaking all these laws and stealing children to come for the program and all the rest of it. I'm of the opinion for any of that, we should be just like Private Neely Fuller Jr., where we document any rule-breaking, law-breaking, especially in environments like this where they will try and blame any of these infractions on a black staff member, maybe blame it on you. I'm talking about Bay Area mom or whomever. Let's document the exact nature of these infractions, date, time, what's happening, all of that. That I think is always, that's something I encourage regardless, because so frequently they try and blame this stuff on us, and then sometimes these end up being safety hazards. Could be for the children, staff, everybody. Always a big proponent. Once you become aware, they're breaking laws or breaking rules, this should be documented and reported. See if we can get this cut out before somebody gets in trouble, mainly me. Let's see. The white woman that she called sloppy is working with these children and talking about, now this same person that she said is not really that concerned about making sure that these children have adequate nutrition meals for the summertime. Like, I would think that's a top priority. Like, hey, let's make sure we got the food, and maybe we don't have to give them, Chips Ahoy, Lunchable. I mean, again, I can't say enough, man. I can't say enough. I'm lame, broke, worthless, Gus T. Renegade. You know what I had to eat today? This week? Yellow watermelon. Orange watermelon. Red watermelon. And some of the best cherries I've ever had in my life. It is summertime. They've been complaining about the heat waves for a reason. I said, she's Bay Area mom. They got all these programs and such. Damn, we can't go get peak fruit. You're in California. We can't get no fresh fruits for the little people. Man, forget the fruit by the foot and Go-Gurt and yogurt and all the Cheetos and nonsense. It is summertime and you are in California, man. Strawberries, peaches, watermelon, cherries. I am broke, and I had orange, yellow, red watermelon since Sunday. They could be doing the same thing in California easily. Nah. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. Nah. Now that with the context, this suspected race soldier saying, you can come to my house. She wants to be paternal with them. Like, what? What do you mean? That's even one other. Come to my house. Pause. I do not think any child should be going to an educator's house. Why? That sounds massively inappropriate. I cannot think of any context. Why are we going to your house to eat? You won't even do right to make sure we got food at the school to eat. That's the only way we can get food is to go home with you? Come on. Like, I've heard young academic privileged black male was with us and he talked about, I love to cook and bring a little contraband oatmeal cookie in to my students. He didn't say nothing about that. Look here, children. If you want a few snacks and such, your old uncle, young academic, he can make some vicious chocolate chip cookies, but you got to stop by my residence to get it. Like, what? Security, be out of there before we can say black male privilege. Come to my house, even with your parent, just what? Here we go. And then, same thing. Now, you can come with all this. That's what you learned with all your education that you're going to brag about is bring the Negro children to your house. That's the best way to correct these problems. Really? Mary Kay Letourneau. Born in California. The Welch's gummies, that's the one. We in California. Why are we eating pork chops and Welch's gummies in California in the summertime? They got everything I just named, I think. You get at the farmer's market. I don't know about orange watermelon. That is kind of but yellow, oh yeah, you get that easy. I got yellow watermelon. And repeat, the first time I ever had it in my life, I was in Bay Area, California. So I know you can get that easy, inexpensive too. The regular, the red one, got the easy. You can rent grapes, peaches, grapefruits. You could get Welch's gum. Yes, ma'am.
Why did she go to the farmer's market? Because so San Leandro, every Wednesday in the summer, they have a farmer's market on Wednesday. So she went to the San Leandro library with her daughter. Why did she walk out to the farmer's market talking about, I'm just going to spend hundreds of dollars on all this fruit to just have? But do you think she brought those kids? And we don't have a lot of children, 6 max. You think she brought us any fruit with the budget, the $20 a head? You think she brought us any fruit? No. I'm sure she brought some for her White House, but she didn't bring none to West Oakland. Okay, because you're mentioning fruit, there's a farmer's market right at the library that she was at yesterday because she came and told us. So I just thought that was real white of her to save all the good stuff with the budget that we have for the kids and take it to her kids and herself, but not get us any fruit, and you're right there. Okay, I'll mute mine. Right, it's in the parking lot. Gus, the farmer's market in San Leandro at the library is in the parking lot of the library. And she got her fruit and didn't get us any fruit. Okay, and then when someone asks to get fruit, it's like, well, can I just get them some fruit?
Man.
So I'll mute myself. Thank you. So I just had to throw that in there. Thank you.
Much obliged, Bay Area mom. Shout to San Leandro Library. I've been there many times. Used to jog past it on my runs when I lived in California. Incidentally, the San Leandro Library is like walking distance from the Oakland border. San Leandro and Oakland are like, right? I mean, there are lots of points where you could just walk from San Leandro into Oakland back and forth, or do little circuits. You could walk from San Leandro to Oakland, back into San Leandro a bunch of times. But the San Leandro Public Library, you can look on the map. I seriously doubt that it is even 1 mile from where you could walk into Oakland. Yes, unless my memory is really bad, I don't even think it's a mile. So I mean, that is super duper close. And she bragged. She didn't even say she went and got like, I got 1 grapefruit and I got 1 orange. It's California, man. Like, they have everything you could think of in terms of fruit. Yellow, water, exotic stuff too. Like, they have it. And some of the best grapefruits I've ever had. California. But all that, I think you can even get avocados at the farmer's market in California. Like, it's goofy. She bragged, we gonna go and get all the yummy. No. 6 children. You couldn't bring us. I don't know if they have bananas at the farmer's market in California. I don't know if I remember those. You could have brought us all like 1 grapefruit apiece. She could have got 1 watermelon. Brought us some slices. Easy. Not brush. She said they get $20. You could have got exotic. You could have got a fat, organic orange watermelon, brother, and blew everybody's mind. You niggers ain't seen nothing like this. Bueno, I'm magic. You ain't seen that white woman got his hand. Look at that. And them niggers got them old red water. You ain't even seen nothing like that, have you? Tell your parents. No. Ain't bring us an apple. Nothing. Welch's gummies. And they got the policy on the pork chops. And sometimes they sneak the pork in the Welch because they got the gelatin, because I'm vegan, but they don't even respect the pork policy. And the peanut, she said they got these old peanut nonsense snacks and such. Like, come on. And that's it's a lot of white people that have peanut allergies. Like, that's real serious. Like, oh my goodness. Like, people end up with serious health problems. And I've seen where places get sued about that, where you serve somebody peanut butter and know that they got peanut allergies and all that. Like, dang. What is the problem? Again, she could have easily got something from the farmers. They even got a budget for it. Peanuts, pork chops, Welch's gummies. Everyone's fine. Delectable Negro. I mean, even if you don't even care, like, safety, let me make sure I don't kill nobody who got a peanut allergy. You don't even care about that. Jesus. When you play around with sex, maybe your child makes it home safely. Maybe they die if they got a peanut allergy. Man. Jesus Christ. And then, this is the same suspected racist. She fussed at the child. She said the little fella came over and was laying down on her. She said, oh my goodness, I don't like how this looks. I'm white and you coming and laying all submissively on top, maybe even sexually. Even this, boundaries? Hey, let's watch our space. Watch our space. You doing all right? Need a little support? All right. Let's watch our space. Very important. Like the same thing. Hey, what's all this coming to the house and such? You grooming? You Mary Kay? And then she talking to him like he is the one in the wrong. You are the teacher. Let's watch what I just said. Let's watch our space. What is all that? Whoa, this doesn't even look like what? He doesn't even understand that. What are you talking about? Sounding like this is what I wanted. Grooming. All ready to come to the house. This will be an easy one. I can just pack you up and take you right home. Mary Kay. That's incidentally in the It's Pride Month, where we got all the anti-sex and such. incorrect sexual behavior. Let's see. And then the heard that young academic said, "Oh man, that's the same school I worked at. Maybe did Bay Area mom, did she come to the East Coast? Because that's the same environment that I have taught in, where they don't do no cleaning." She said total disparagement of a black space where you have all these black children, and I guess used to be black educators, but hey, we took Clarence Thomas down, so everything went downhill from there. Metaphor. But she said that they do not clean. They don't even take out the trash. Yeah, she did say, she said, and we don't have no custodial staff here. Hey, we ain't got no money. Now, you know, we're broke. They've been complaining, said we don't have no funds, and we can barely afford a light bulb. We certainly can't afford to have no custodial staff here in the summertime, not for 6 children. So shame on you. You just have to do the best you can. Heard that even sometimes during the school year. But wow. I mean, and thinking, you heard her. She's an educator. She's saying even for her, man, this is my last year. I'm not doing this. I don't have to be this old germ-infested. What is that for the child's brain computer? I can't even read, and I come in here, and this place is filthy. I go to the bathroom. They defecated on the floor. What? They don't dump the trash. Like, how does that impact my brain computer? And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm coming here for my summer to learn, and this place is a pigsty. She said they don't even get the cobwebs down. It's filthy. They didn't even clean it from, looks exactly how it did last summer. Like ain't been no cleaning since then. I think, yeah, I'm valuable. I got a powerful brain computer. I can do a lot of things. Make this Oakland place a better place to live. Really? That's what I'm going to think? Really? They ain't even got Clarence Thomas's picture of me no more. Like, really? I'm gnawing on these Welch's gummies. Come on. Even, she said they got the young Muslim students. I ain't supposed to be eating no pork. Y'all got pork chop sandwiches every day. Play around with sex. That's about what you can expect. Almost rhymed there, but I mean, I cannot tell you how embarrassing that is about we're in California. They have farmers markets all the time in California. I went all the time. When I brought pomegranate. Man, she could have brought them a pomegranate. You can get fresh pomegranates in California for $2. I brought them by the bushel. I had a whole suitcase full of pomegranates when I came back because I never see them for $2 at the grocery store, but they were $2. And fresh, sweet. That'd be another one. You could blow their mind. Like, you niggers never even had fresh pomegranate, have you? Look at that. Look at that. Ah, look at that. You have to burst it open. Ooh, look at it. Ooh. Tell your parents about that one. Mm-hmm. They could have done it. Nope. Welch's gummies and pork. Shout to San Leandro Public Library. Farmers Market right there. You can walk to Oakland. Much obliged, Bay Area Mom. The number again, 720-716-7300. The code 564-943 pound. Press star 61 if you would like to participate. The email untiljustice@gmail.com. If folks have any suggestions for a safe work environment, or even reports if the black on black violence has erupted in your work environment, seems like it could, let us know. And if you've, adjusted your behavior to try to minimize the likelihood of you being sucked into that, please share. We will be here tomorrow. We were supposed to be here yesterday. Our guest rescheduled. He said he got a teaspoon of the Ebola. Said no problem. He said he rescheduled for next month. He has no idea. Whew. It's a new day. I'd already read half of his books. I was already ready to go. But now, since he gave me more time, I might get a third opportunity to do the big balls dance and show my hind parts. But he did reschedule. Hopefully this will not be a renege, and we'll just move the broadcast to a few days forward into the summer 2026. But we did not just mess around for yesterday. White guest rescheduled. We will be here tomorrow. That would be Friday, June 26th, avoiding the FIFA madness here in Seattle. And we'll broadcast our 11th segment on Lion Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow. I am out of my mind with anticipation. We will hear directly from Michelle Alexander for the second time in our study of The New Jim Crow. We've heard from her husband, and we heard about John Burge, and lots of other tidbit, even Mumia Abu Jamal, as we've done our read, but we've only heard from her one time thus far. Tomorrow will be dose. And I think, man, I cannot wait. Woo! Be there right at the beginning. If you listen to the archive, do not fast forward through the intro. All the intros are relevant and add, context, understanding to our read, but be there right for the beginning to hear Michelle Alexander's 2016 interview about the new Jim Crow. And this is in context of last week where she talked about white victims of white supremacy like her white mammy because she married a Negro and had biracial children, so-called. Second worst book ever. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, tomorrow, Friday. And then we'll do our counter-racist weekly review Saturday, normal time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Much obliged. Again, hopefully, folks will let us know as they kind of become aware of some of these shooting incidents that have happened, or incidents of violence in the workplace, especially if you live in some of these regions, and they've been all over. Texas, Ohio, Missouri, Delaware, lots of different, places. See if people are aware. Did you see this? Like, what in the world? I can't believe Alexis Hill, and she got shot at the Dollar General. And share with other black people so that they can be a bit more aware and adjust their behavior, especially share with younger people, because so many of these incidents have involved black people that are younger. Some of them, a 19-year-old, Ethan Hillman, was shot and killed. And then a number of these incidents, even the alleged shooters have been in their 20s, frequently under 25. Chauncey Meekins was shot by a black female who I think was 20, not even old enough to purchase Mad Dog legally. Talk to younger people about stressing, minimizing conflict, and the fact that you have no idea who is armed. You get the mouthing off at the McDonald's or the Pizza Hut. The person behind the counter could be armed, apparently, or the person in the drive-thru who is coming to place their order could be armed. You have no idea. You want to be all about minimizing conflict while you are at work. I'm not escalating anything. I'm not here to defend my honor, the company's honor, none of that. I am here to survive my shift. Again, input with the bot to ask for tips specifically for black people. And I put in all of these incidents that happened over the last week. Tips for black people to try to maintain a tad bit of safety in the workplace. Once again, this was number one, enforce a strict workplace matters only rule. The recent tragedies involving Alexis Hill, Ethan Hillman, Brandon Lucas, and Jeff Waugh show a lethal pattern of personal arguments escalating into gun violence. Zero personal disclosure. Never share details about your relationships, family, finances, or after-hours activities with coworkers. Deflect personal questions. If a colleague asks about your personal life, immediately pivot the conversation back to a professional task. Gus T has recommended that for years. No work socializing. Avoid off-clock hangouts, group chats, or connecting with coworkers on personal social media accounts. 2. Utilize de-escalation and selective silence. Being quiet and maintaining a low profile is a valid defensive strategy to avoid becoming a target of workplace rage. Refuse petty debates. If a coworker tries to provoke you with petty picking, sarcasm, and I would say that is hallmark of black culture, petty picking with other black people for any reason or no reason at all. Sarcasm or teasing, do not clap back or defend your ego. The gray rock method. Respond to hostile or toxic coworkers with neutral, boring, one-word answers. Okay. Understood. Copy that. To drain the excitement out of their provocation. Walk away from friction. The moment a conversation shifts from standard work coordination to a personal dispute or accusation, physically excuse yourself and leave the room. I'm a big advocate of bathroom break for that one. Maintain absolute separation of work and personal circles. Intertwining work schedules with personal relationships creates volatile environments, as seen in the Five Below incident. That was the one with Brandon Lucas, where it's alleged that he had made some sort of text messages to someone's girlfriend, so now I got to come and blow you away. Keep partners off the premises, especially if they have aluminum baseball bats. Do not allow your significant others, friends, or family members to visit you while you are on the clock or drop you off in a high-traffic work zones. That's one I've said, too, for years, because sometimes they'll encourage, bring your spouse in and that sort of thing, or sometimes people will just have their spouse come in if they're going to pick them up or that sort of thing, come in and say hi to everybody. Firewall, even if they're picking you up, stay outside. Stay in the car. Keep the heat on or the AC on or whatever. Play on your phone, read a book, but you do not need to meet everybody I work with and all of that so they can chat with you for 5 minutes. Stay in the car. Ban workplace interventions. If a personal conflict begins brewing with a coworker over a non-work issue, do not attempt to settle it or hold a meeting on company property. 4. Do not sacrifice your life for corporate property. The Starbucks firing, that's Michael Smith. Make sure I get the name correct. So many of these this week. Michael Harris. The Starbucks firing and the Dollar General tragedy demonstrate, that's Alexis Hill, demonstrate that the corporations prioritize liability and merchandise over employee survival. Comply with robbers. If a retail location is targeted by looters or armed robbers, hand over the cash and property immediately and without resistance. Even one of those robbers was a black male in the Starbucks robbery in Missouri, where the Starbucks employees were fired. Michael Harris, black male. One of those robbers was white. They've both been arrested. Prioritize flight over fight. Only use physical force as an absolute last resort if your life is cornered and escape is physically impossible. Expect no corporate loyalty. Remember that corporate compliance and handbooks will routinely fire a worker who fights back regardless of how heroic the action was. 5. Establish an immediate physical exit trigger. You must determine your personal boundary for when a workplace becomes too lethal to remain. Log and track escalation. Keep a private off-company log of every threat, vehicle tampering, or escalating confrontation. Walk out when threats turn explicit. If a coworker threatens your physical safety or hints at violence, leave the premises immediately, notify authorities, and do not return to that shift. Making a police report if there's been any sort of threat of violence, veiled, implied, any of that. File a police report. This is not, once there's been any suggestion of violence, this is beyond just letting HR and your supervisor deal with this on their own. This is now a matter for the authorities to be aware of, and especially in case there's an escalation, anything of that nature. We want all of this documented and informing the police. Everybody lets everyone, including your employers, know that you are taking this seriously. You value your safety. It will encourage them to also take this seriously, although they may not. But at least it sends a message. This is serious. Get this behavior stopped immediately if it is happening. Anyway, that's per the BOT for managing safety in the workplace. I cannot stress enough, if you work with people classified as black, it cannot be a whew. We don't have all these race soldiers around here, so we can just say whatever we want to and do whatever we want to, and everybody can relax. That is a recipe, really, for lethal disaster. Most of the people in the workplace are not codified. They are not thinking about counter-racism or minimizing conflict with non-white people. Black culture is conflict with people classified as black, and really looking forward to having beef, conflict with a black person. That's black culture. So in the workplace, since this frequently erupts, we are proactive. We don't do a whole lot. We talk about things that are related to the job. We don't get into all that personal and politics and sports. We just talk about things on the job. And we're not running off at the mouth, chatting all day long. Should be more working, less chatting. Hard to argue and I'm going to come in and shoot Leroy. Why is that? He's so quiet. I never even hear him say anything. We go a whole week and he back there. And I'm going to get it. I haven't heard that one. I've heard a whole lot. Got to shoot you about these onion rings. Got to shoot you about these hamburger buns. Got to shoot you about my personal pan pizza. Have not heard. I got to shoot you about you being too quiet. We will do it up on Friday, section 11, Michelle Alexander's new Jim Crow. Sobriety would be best under conditions of white supremacy. We need fully functioning brain computers, it would seem, just to survive our work shift safely. Know where the emergency exits are in your workplace as well. Hopefully you'll never have to use them, but just in case, especially the area where you are assigned, you should be very familiar. What are the quickest exits? Because it might not be the door that you normally use. It might be a door that's right behind you. You just have to be reminded, or just, oh yes. Now, if that should happen, Jamal comes in and for whatever reason, something goes bad. Door behind me. It's an alarm on it. Normally I wouldn't take it, but if things go bad, turn around, bang, we are out of here. In the parking lot, we get to the vehicle, and then we can call or do whatever else we need, but we can be out of here in 10 seconds. We cannot be thinking, oh, man, I got to go downstairs. Run out. Nope, turn around, bang, out of here. Know where the exits are. I would even ask, HR, can we get like a safety drill and just in case there's an emergency so we can practice evacuating so that people, we know where all of the emergency exits are. We know the emergency exits work. Remember that Tops? Remember that Buffalo 2022? Fragrance Harris Stanfield. And she said, oh man, the door, it was kind of hard to operate the door. That was Peyton Gendron when he went in and shot up the Tops grocery store. And they said they went and, hey, because they were employees, that's workplace racism too. They went and they were hiding in the back. And they said, man, it was hard to get the emergency door open. You almost need two people to. You do not want to wait for a race soldier to be in your environment with an AR-15 lock loaded and firing. Got to kill niggers. Bang, bang, bang. Got to kill. That is not the time to find out. Ooh. I think we need some WD-40 for the emergency door. Like Jesus Christ. Let's do a drill. And then, like I said, let's make sure everyone has the physical strength to open that emergency door or whatever it is so we can flee for our lives. Everybody should test it because, hey, it could have been just Fragrance Harris Stanfield. She was the only one that made it to the door. Is she stuck in there? She can't get the door open by herself? Come on. Maybe request that in advance so that everybody knows the procedure. And you might find out like, oh man, it's 5 emergency doors behind me. Like I am super good to go. Anything breaks out right here, pow, I turn around and I'm out of here. Be more informed. That's what you want to be talking about in the workplace, not randomness and who won and how much you going to bet on the soccer game and what you think about President Trump and you going to the Obama Center, anything else that's going to generate conflict with black people. The emergency exits, do we know where they are? Oh, okay. I ain't heard that one either, where black people got in a fight because they were asking where the emergency exits are. Creator, we ask, remind us. Stop saying not all white people are racist. Remind us. Stop name-calling people classified as black. Name-calling and cursing people classified as black. It leads to a lot of the black-on-black violence we have been talking about for a few weeks now, if not months. Get my correction, and again, Brandon Lucas, not killed by another black person at the Five Below, privileged black male, shot and killed, I believe, by a non-white, non-black male, still not with us. Minimize conflict, still very needed. That said, it has been time to replace white supremacy with justice immediately. Cow signing out. Thanks all for tuning in.
Nigga, you so brainwashed. I'm a victim, brother. No problem. You're a victim. Man, I'm a victim of 400 years of conditioning. Shut up. The man has programmed my condition. Even my conditioning has been conditioned.